Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, on my way home from the store today, I saw a sign that said sale. Well, you know me, I'm going to follow the sign. The thing that caught my eye first was Coleman lantern for 10 bucks. Now it's only a single mantle, but still, it's a Coleman lantern for 10 bucks. And it has this little funnel that came with it. Now the guy said he goes to garage sales, so I'm imagining he bought this at a garage sale because it doesn't look like it's been used. At least not in a long, long time. After some research, I found out that this is called a military gasoline lantern. Found out it has some major differences. After doing some research, I found out that this is called a military gasoline lantern. And it has some major differences between it and a standard Coleman lantern. It still has the vent on top, just like the Coleman. It has a Pyrex globe. Now this one, I believe, is a replacement, because on the 1944 militaries that I saw, this actually said Pyrex in big letters. It didn't say Coleman. But the big differences are right here. And a standard Coleman, it has the vents on top. These happen to be different holes, but that's kind of inconsequential. It also has a Pyrex This one also has a Coleman Pyrex shield. And that's where we start. That's where we come up against the different pieces. This is a model 220H. It has a bronze manifold and a generator. The generator brings gasoline up into it. The heat from the mantles makes the gas turn into vapor, and the vapor is forced up into the top of the manifold here, and that creates gas flow down into the mantles and provides the fuel to light the lantern, and And the mantles, when they're heated by the flame, glow with a bright yellow light. On the military, the generator is just an aluminum tube. It attaches here with a flare and a flare nut. The aluminum tube passes up through the top of this steel block into this steel tube and is forced down through the manifold, which attaches here. The heat from the manifold vaporizes the gas in this generator tube, the aluminum generator tube, and that forces that gas expands and goes down into the mantle and burns. The military lantern comes with this wrench. This particular one is designed to slide in underneath this metal clip which holds it in place and keeps it from rattling around. You can see that the handle on this one has been damaged. There's supposed to be two stakes out on the end that hold it inside that. This wrench is used to remove and tighten the generator. It's kind of a handy thing to have. The military also has a storage spot where you're supposed to put spare parts. And when they come, they have a spare mantle, has spare mantles and parts in here. Now this one is empty, and I see where some people put matches in there, and I don't think that's a good idea. You really don't want to have a fire inside your tank, and if things get out of hand, that could happen. But storing some spare mantles in there, and on the later models, they take this wrench and they modified the wrench so it fits down into there, and you store the wrench down inside the compartment. So those are the major differences between a military lantern and a civilian lantern. I think this is a nice thing to have. I don't know about the generator, I haven't tried this, but one thing that this does say is it burns leaded gas. It doesn't have to be Coleman fuel or white gas. It says it burns leaded gas. The only thing it says is, caution, provide good ventilation when using leaded gasoline, because they don't want to have the lead fumes in a confined space. Now, one thing that doesn't really affect the operation, but is a clever idea and makes it so that parts don't get lost. This comes with a funnel. Now I have a funnel that allows me to pour fuel into a civilian lantern, because this little cap here is fairly small. But when you put that in there, it's a nice place to put the fuel in. It also has a chain that secures the fuel cap so you can't lose it. The funnel is held by the chain, and the other end of the chain is attached to the fuel cap. And it has a little wire that links it up here. I think the wire is something that somebody else put in there. I think it has actually a little clip ring. When it was original, it had a little clip ring that held that on. At least according to the pictures that I've seen. Now this is called a low pressure lantern. It says about 13 pumps is all you want to put in there. Then you're supposed to fasten this down. By tightening this, you close off the check valve on the bottom of the pump. Now, I haven't cleaned this up and checked it out. I want to check it for leaks before I do any test firing on it. I just thought it was interesting that it had these, what I see as improvements. Now, I don't know if the generator is an improvement. Looking at the videos that I've seen on this torch, looking at the videos that I've seen on this lantern, it doesn't shed quite as much light as the civilian single mantle lanterns do. It doesn't burn quite as hot. But it's supposed to burn for a long time. Approximately 12 hours on a full tank. So this is a 1944 according to the markings on the bottom of the tank. This has one little rust spot right there that shears the name. There's some pitting there, but there isn't any penetration. The Akron Lamp and Manufacturing Company. Lantern, gasoline, leaded fuel. 1944. So this isn't a Coleman lantern, but it is based on the Coleman pattern. It looks like it's had a few replacements on it. Like all the rest of the 1944s that I see have a dull painted chimney. This one has the brighter porcelain chimney on top. So I think the globe and the chimney were both replaced. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.